This is my game. It's kind of trashy right now, but in today's video we're going to make it just a little bit better. This is what the player character used to look like. This is what it's going to look like. This is what a coin in my game looked like. This is what it's going to look like. This is what the monster looked like. This is what it's going to look like. And not only is the enemy looking way better, we've actually got two of them now, and they both serve different functionalities and roles to play in the game. We're also going to add a day and night cycle with fun text and stuff that pops up on the screen and some other cool stuff. But first, let's go back to the start. Let's go over the game as it is right now. So if I click play, we got a player, we got wanderers, and then when these wanderers see coins, they're going to walk towards them. Unless I pick them up, then they're just going to wander around. But if I drop a coin, he's going to run over to it. If I drop a coin for him, he's going to run over to it. Wanderers, when they pick up coins, turn into citizens. And then citizens, by default, are going to run over to this little cabin, which is called a settlement. And then if they see this hammer table, they're going to run over to the hammer table instead of the settlement. And then we should see this citizen that missed his opportunity at the hammer table. He should start wandering around. It looks like that's not working though, so let's fix that. That should fix it. That's pretty simple. Yeah, that did not fix anything.
One eternity later.
So right now we got all the wanderers, we got the citizens, we got the builders, and they're all able to wander around. The citizen is always going to be by the settlement over there. The citizens also, if they see a hammer table and it's got slots, they're going to go become a builder. And then the little enemy guy, that little red slime blob right there, he kind of just wants to hug me all the time. But so we're gonna make him scary for sure. But to be honest, at this point in the game, I had been working on this stuff with the wanderers and the enemy and the citizens and stuff. I'd been working on all that stuff in the code for so long that I was just kind of wanted to find something new in the game to work on, and so I decided, hey, we're gonna need a day-night cycle. Let's do that. This is me messing around with the lighting in the game, and then I made a animation player to modulate the canvas modulate, that's what it's called in the scene. And this is me just going through editing like an animation for the scene, and then I'm also going to add in a bunch of functions that can do stuff when we hit a certain point in that animation, like for instance pop up a text when it turns night and it says night 1 and then day 1, and so you're gonna see that right here, and this is my reaction to finishing it. Okay, made a little bit a quick test of our day-night cycle. So it should start when we start the game and it'll say day 1, I think, and then it'll fade away, and then it'll fade into night 1, fade away, and then it'll go to day 2. So let's test that. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, it comes in day 1, night 1, and it changes. The funny thing is, there's still a bunch of problems with this that I didn't even realize when I first did it, but the entire scene didn't change colors, it didn't get darker, and then it also said day 1 when it really shouldn't have just said day 1. It should have just said night 1 instead of day 1 then night 1. So I did end up fixing that. Day 1 looks so good. Night 1. Sweet. Oh, that is so cool. Day 2. And it's gonna get pretty dark at night, so we gotta add some sort of lighting in the game. So I made these little torches, and then this is just a small section of me coding them all into the game, making the actual lighting work, and at the specific time of the day. And then you can see here, it's gonna turn on when it gets dark enough. Next thing I wanted to tackle was the coins. The coins I had made didn't really fit the art style I was going for, so I was making a new coin, but honestly I didn't like that either, so I just used Midjourney to generate some cool new looking coins, and I think they look a lot better. I'm also really glad I decided to change up the coin sprite, because it made me rethink the whole theme for the game. Instead of like the medieval style and pretty much just copying Kingdom 2 Crowns like exactly, we're gonna do like this light theme, so like this dark and light theme where we have light coins and then the dark creatures try to come steal the light. So that's kind of the theme moving forward. Next thing I wanted to do in my game was give a little more functionality to the enemies, so I went around itch.io and I was just looking for games to play that I could get inspiration from, but it was pretty much just a dead end. I didn't really find anything, so I went to Midjourney, and I just played around with like the sprite for the enemy character, and then I also just played around with the code forever until I got the enemies looking pretty cool. I pretty much did the exact same thing for the player as well as the second enemy, and the first enemy, we're gonna call him the Stalker Grim. He just kind of runs around super fast. He doesn't even target the player. He doesn't really care about the player. He just cares about getting coins. But the Stalker Grim is super fast. He just runs around randomly, chopping down trees as he moves. And then this super tall guy, he's going to be called the Colossal Grim. This guy, he only targets the player. He doesn't care about anything else. And eventually I'm going to make him pick up the player with his hand. But for now, he just follows the player around, and he's pretty slow but super creepy. Oh, you can see this giant guy's coming over. He's going to hit me. And then I can drop these coins for the citizens. And then, oh, he didn't hit me. What's happening? He should have hit me. Anyways, you already know how the Wanderers and Citizens work. That's all still working. Okay, yeah, you can see he did a ton of damage. I've only got that much health left. Anyways, the Colossal Grim, which is that super tall guy, he's not really working perfectly right now. So I'm going to fix that in the next video. But everything else is working. And then we've got the Stalker Grim. Where is he? Yeah, okay, here he is. Super creepy. You can see he does quite a bit of damage. I think he does like 40%. Yeah, I'm almost dead. And let me know if you guys want me to go over all the code and all the functionality for the code. I can totally do that in future videos if that's what you guys are interested in. Alright, so back in Millinote, honestly I'm just going to delete this first art style that we had, or maybe I won't delete it, but it's just going to go over in the corner because we're not going to use it. This is going to be the art style moving forward, and then I've updated it quite a bit. You can see all the enemy types. You can pause it and read through those if you want, but we've done quite a bit. We added a day-night cycle, we did enemies, light sources, multiple enemy types, gave the enemies a little more functionality. For the next video, I want to make sure we add some trees and have the Stalker Grim chop the trees when it moves. I also want to make the damage system better. I also want to add the other dimension, the copy dimension. like the Upside Down in Stranger Things, and then make a player ability to swap there after he gets like a super cool item. Um, but yeah, as far as like what the plan for the game is moving forward, the theme is going to be a light and dark theme where there's like this light and the dark creatures are trying to steal it. And then I think it would be so cool where there's two different endings to the game, where we've got one ending where the player chooses to kill all the Grim and the player wins because he defeated the Grim. Or we've got the player gets a bunch of light, like light coins or however that works, just a bunch of light, and then he gives the Grim light, and then the Grim turn into light beings, which the story reveals that like the Grim were light beings. They used to be like light creatures, and so he like healed them, and then he wins the game. So I think it'd be super cool to implement two endings into the game. And so, yeah, anyways, that's pretty much my game moving forward. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything cool you want to say in the comments, let me know. And I'm sure I'll address it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.